Was this like
a year
was this
in.
just like an LA thing? Is that
New York.
Is that a New York thing? I don't know. I've never lived in either of them.
It's an everywhere thing, dude. People are dicks.
I mean, I know it's a Paris
I liked
thing.
knowing where he was, and I had the ability to do whatever I wanted. It wasn't exclusive.
You're right.
And I knew all the rest of his time he was spending with his shitty wife. So it was like a great deal for me.
So I'm guessing she's obviously not a big fan of your podcast appearances because she's not listening. As
She definitely would not listen.
Yeah. Well, more power to those that have power. I don't have any of that. I wouldn't recommend that, but at the same time,
I'm telling you outright, I don't recommend it. But I was 27. It worked for me. It was exciting. It was fun.
Yeah.
More power to you. All right, so let's get back. I love the tangents and the. I feel like this has been like a Tenderoni episode, but it's also been comboed with some Survivor.
Why are there so many flies in here?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't understand.
So what's the best meal you've had in Denver?
What's the best meal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy. Uchi. Have you been?
I've not been yet.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is, I have been all over the world. Like I've been to Tokyo, Miami, LA, Vegas, New York, everywhere that great sushi is. Matsuhisa, Nobu, Koi. I mean, every single great sushi place I've been to, because I take clients out to dinner all the time for a living. This is my favorite sushi place for ambiance, I did the omakase, and
there's multiple Uchis, correct?
Well, there's only one here, but I know it hails from Austin. I've never been. Yeah. But I was so impressed. There's skylights, so that there's a greenhouse above where they grow all the vegetables and stuff. You would like that.
Yeah.
From what I was told, they tried to make that a bar, and the city wouldn't approve it. So they turned it into a greenhouse.
I mean, it's not a greenhouse for marijuana. It's definitely a greenhouse for, like,
No, I know.
vegetables.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know Uchi well. I just meant, like, that upstairs area. I had once been told that was actually going to be planned to be, like, an upstairs bar, and then the city or whatever kind of permitting or zoning situation would not allow them to have a bar, so they turned it into a greenhouse instead.
I don't know, but that is hands down my favorite restaurant. You want to hear a good story?
It's also one of the better happy hours, too.
Mm-hmm. I went on a date there to dinner because it was somebody that I had been lusting after for a long time. I thought it was a date.
Fresh out of high school?
No, but he was an athlete, and I was really excited. Like, I think he's so handsome.
Nod your head if it was Terrell Davis, John Elway, or Peyton Manning.
No.
Just say,
None.
It's okay.
So we meet for dinner, and I wasn't really honestly sure if it was a date or not, but I figured, he was like, I'm really hungry, let's do the 10-course omakase, and I'm like, sure. And it's super expensive, so it's like $180 a person, no alcohol, and then you have to tip. Anyways, waitress comes, and it's a Mexican standoff, and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have to split this. So finally I take my card out, and the waitress is like, should I split it? And he's like, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm like, huh.
Was he college football or a pro football player?
No.
Or pro ball player?
No. I don't want to get into it, but he makes like, I don't know, let's say he's worth $25 million. Yeah, I mean, like a lot.
The fuck? And I
think it was him sending me a message that this isn't a date. But I'm like, yo, dude, like, I
would send him this message.
Yeah, I was like, not for nothing. I get to eat here free all the time with clients. Like, I would never have done that on my own dime. Not that I'm cheap or I don't have the money. I don't need to spend that
kind of money. But you need to know whether you're going into a $180 plus meal. Yeah, that's not something that you need to get dropped on.
Right.
Yeah, I would be.
I was ill prepared for that.
I would be fucking livid. I'd be like, you courted this whole fucking meal and recommended it? Go fuck yourself.
And if I made $25 million a year, I don't care how much money you made, I would have paid for the whole fucking thing,
right,
date or not date.
Part. Like, what are you doing?
If I was worth $25 million right now, we'd go there right now and eat. I wouldn't give a fuck.
It was really bizarre.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that, Chris.
No, yeah.
Speaking of, you want to hear, since you guys like bougie stories, so one of my best guy friends is an ex-NBA player, and I was at his house in LA.
You have to name drop. You can't say ex-NBA.
I'm not going to name drop.
Well, then our listeners are going to be like, well, this is semi-true, semi-not true. You have to give them a little bit of the cheese. You have to give them a nibble for them to kind of...
Well, that wasn't why I was telling you the story, but we got really hammered, and the next morning he had dispatched a team of nurses to come and do IV drips.
Oh, yeah. That's
and it
fantastic.
Is the smartest, like... If I'm ever really wealthy, that's going to be like top of list.
IV drips
so
are key.
They're here in Denver, and you can go see our friends over at the High IV bar.
It's not that. They came to our home. Like, I woke up and they were like, here's a bagel, here's a recovery drink. Like, if I'm hungover, I don't want to go to the spa to get it done.
I'm going to teach you so many things living here in Denver. You need some friends that are
I need some friends. You could have ended the sentence there.
That are not tall enough and don't make enough money. And so we're not in that bucket.
I'll totally hang out with you guys.
Yeah, come hang out. Get drunk. We'll show you how to get laid very easily off of dating apps. It's easy.
I'm good on that.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's not a.
Come up that she would need our advice.
I don't know. It sounds like
I give advice
from fucking people from prison and people from Mile High Spirits. That's why I thought she would need our advice. Both of those things are fucking flags.
He does.
I'm sorry.
I stand by my decisions.
I'm not saying you don't. I'm just trying to help you make better ones.
Well, I could learn a little bit more about, like, I don't know, the scenes.
Yeah, come on.
Because I go to the same places over and over again.
I have 70 episodes with different chefs and guests that would help you.
I know. I just subscribed. I was trying to do my due diligence.
That's not that good. So it's all right. Pick and choose your poison.
Well, I saw you did one with Marla and Chad, and I'm huge fans of them.
Yeah, that one's actually a lot of fun. Chad, also shout out to our boys over at Bigsby Folly.
That is my favorite. I love that spot so much.
They do have
it's
a nice
not a bad little spot.
You can hear somebody speaking. They have great music, like the actual music they play, which isn't like a main feature.
It's my first stop on Stamp.
They play like Fish. Like, it's amazing.
We do like Stamp Night as well. Like, I'll take someone 2 or 3 locations. You can start at Bigsby and then you can walk across the footbridge so you're not stranded on fucking Brighton and run up Larimer Street.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've got a lot to work with between that and Walnut. And if you can find a way to navigate your way through appetizers and dinner, and you could even stop at our friend Bijou, whose spot is here in the Broadway Marketplace as well. But there's a voice box as well that you can always close. I love voice box. So all of these are ways to close, and then you can always finish it somewhere like Pon. So it's like Rhino's really good.
I love the Block Distillery. Do you guys fuck with the Block Distillery at all? Best gin in all of Denver.
I like full bars and...
I'm a big Leopold's gin guy myself, but...
I'm not a gin guy at all.
My second date last week, I went to Ironton. Is that how you say it? Ironton?
Yeah, Distillery.
Fucking awesome.
I like their patio. Mm-hmm. And they have food over there. That's pretty good. The pizza place.
But, I mean, Bigsy's Folly's food is, like, next level. Like, it's not even bar food at all.
All right, so we've said best restaurant. We've said best, I guess, you've said date spot or happy hour is Bigsby. Let's do best concert. This question is sponsored to you by Live Nation. Live Nation wants to know, if it's not the Fillmore, which is the home to the best locations, where's your best concert you've seen recently?
Okay, so I know that's like a huge thing in Denver, but I'm a big country girl, so I really only want to go to Grizzly Rose for concerts because it's intimate. I know what to expect. I love country. The
Warehouse District, literally.
Well, I really love Grizzly Rose, but I've been to Red Rocks once. That wasn't great. Yes, Red Rocks is supposed to be great, but the Uber situation was abominable. I thought I was going to have to change my address and just live there. I didn't think I was ever getting home. And Fiddler's Green I just went to for the first time for Jason Aldean, and it was the worst concert I've ever been to. A girl in front of me pulled her pants down and peed on the grassy knoll, and the urine just ran down into everyone's blankets. It was so bad. I paid $120 for a lawn seat. Because she was a fucking redneck. I don't know. And there was no security. She was chain smoking Marlboro Reds and tossing them into the crowd.
But isn't
she tried to
part
fight me.
of that crew that goes to that?
There should be security. Anywhere you go, you should not expect that someone's going to urinate on you.
No, yeah.
Like I
don't want to go to there.
I was very upset. I actually have tickets. Hey, Live Nation, if you want to hook me up.
Have you ever been to Fish?
I've seen Fish, not here, though. I'm going to Dave Matthews. I bought lawn seats like a jackass. I bought one seat because I don't know that many people here. And now I want to. I might as well
more friends.
Set that ticket on fire in a garbage can because there's no way I'm going back to Fiddler's Green lawn seats.
Fiddler's Green is one of the worst places.
Fucking terrible.
Never been there.
It's right off the interstate. It's in the DTC. So when you get out of the show, there's nothing else to do. Yeah, that's where Chris has to go every day. It's called it's like purgatory. It's
yeah.
Like right below
so why don't you tell me where I should be seeing concerts? Because the only ones I've enjoyed have been at Grizzly Rose.
Well, I haven't been to the Mission yet, but I've got some coming up there. But the Fillmore, it's huge. It's awesome. It's great. And they've got
that's where I used to have like Grateful Dead like cassette tapes where they had like live at the Fillmore. When I was a kid.
That's a different Fillmore.
Oh, is that not
this
one?
That was the Fillmore of San Francisco. This one is celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. And this month they have a plethora of concerts, but really for the rest of the year they have sold out shows, big name, top-list guys, rappers, tall people, everybody you can know for.
Can you get me backstage?
I mean, can I? No, but could you? Yes.
So being a country fan, did you go to Frontier Days?
No, what's that?
Oh, I think it just happened like a few weeks ago, like up in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh, I've heard about that. No. So it's hard for me. I travel literally every week. It's hard for me to like commit to.
But you squeezed us in.
I did. You got lucky.
Yeah. So
I leave for Tucson Wednesday.
How many dates you got lined up?
In Tucson, none.
So
in Phoenix, when I fuck with Scottsdale, I could definitely go on dates there. But I don't want to date anyone in Tucson.
You're kind of like George Clooney in Up in the Air, but chick version.
I never saw that, but okay.
Fucking get it.
I'll take it.
I back it. I want her. I want to party with her. She's my wingman. She's my new. You can suck it, Chris. You can still come on the podcast sometimes when she's out of town. She's my new wingman. I have a sneaking suspicion she just always wants to get laid and party and drink. Except for, goddamn, y'all are both gin drinkers, so it's like substituting one for another. Sorry. She's in.
All right, I'll take it. Whatever.
I mean, she was on Survivor.
I mean, he has a girlfriend now, so I don't know how useful he's going to be.
She knows Prost.
I mean, I do. He's blocked me on Twitter.
Why?
I don't know. It was years ago. I said
Did you send illicit pictures?
No, but I said something that wasn't even really very racy at all after my finale, my second season, and then he blocked me. It's actually a real claim to fame. I think I'm the only person he's ever blocked. I don't know why.
So I've heard that he takes the snubber from every single season. That's his memoir.
I don't know that.
That's
Maybe.
just what I've heard. I don't know. So the best you ever. I want to do a quick back behind the scenes of Survivor besides Prison Island.
Sure. You mean loser camp?
Loser camp. What happens? Does the camera? Is there just 3 sets of 8? 3. I guess waves of 8-hour camera shifts. And always filming
there's usually a day and a night producer, and then the producers are on for 2 days, off for 2 days, something like that.
Hang out with them.
You're not allowed to talk to them. No. And if you talk to them, they won't talk back to you. They have tape on their watches, so you can't ever see what time it is. They're not allowed to eat in front of you, but they can drink their Camelbacks.
So y'all never see food except for the shit y'all catch.
But nobody catches anything. That's a misnomer. Unless Ozzy's on your tribe. Nobody catches anything.
I mean, I don't know, though. Was Ozzy the black gentleman with the beard?
No.
That was Ozzy Smith. Sorry. Played shortstop for the...
No, you need somebody that happens to, spearfish, for their livelihood or something. Otherwise, first of all, you have to win fishing gear, because how are you going to get the fish anyway? And then when you do, it's usually rudimentary and it's real hard to catch anything with. And
so
generally
if you were to play a third round, or give us tips. Let's say I'm a first-timer. They don't know who I am. They don't know that I'm semi-famous, because we have tens of thousands of listeners on this badass podcast every single week. Let's pretend like they didn't know that. What tips would you give me to help me succeed?
On Survivor?
Yeah.
You got to kind of play the middle. You have to be not super bossy, not super opinionated, but also not a complete doormat. One of the tips that I got that Ethan gave me, which is the smartest, was find someone you need and someone who needs you and build your alliance around that. And so I found an older gentleman. Well, you have to build an alliance where everyone's getting something out of it, right? So I picked someone I needed, which was a smarter, more level-headed guy, and someone who needed me, which was an older gentleman who really couldn't make social connections. So you kind of have to, I prefer to build an alliance authentically and organically, which is impossible to do after you've played because you're always playing with returning players. So everyone pre-aligns and you just panic. But you have the first 3 days, nobody gets voted out until day 3. I wouldn't go into it immediately. This is a mistake people make. They just grab the first person they're alone with and they're like, you want to work together? Okay, let's work together. That's not a real alliance. You don't feel anything for that person. So better to find people that you actually will make you laugh, that will make your time there more enjoyable. I'd rather sit next to 2 people in the final 3 that I might not be able to beat because they're powerhouses or more likable.
Don't say that. I don't believe that shit.
Well, then I would rather go to the end with the most annoying person like Philip Shepard or Sugar Kuiper. I wouldn't take those people.
What's your opinion on Rupert?
So everyone ever that's ever played with him hates him. I went on Amazing Race. I didn't spend a ton of time with him on Race, but after the game I did.
He and his wife are
I like him a lot. But I barely can say that out loud because everyone fucking hates him.
Was it because he was just tough to deal with, or because he's like a Bill Walton hippie?
I know Bill Walton actually in real life.
What the fuck? Give me Bill Walton on this podcast.
That's